hunger has been established as the number one on the top 10 list of world health risk. When you talk about the things that put your health at risk, hunger rank at the top of it all. It's been established that every year hunger kills more people than malaria, AIDS, and tuberculosis combined. The earliest record of hunger was in 436 BC in Rome. Probably there has been before then, but the one that is recorded happened 436 BC in Rome. The hunger was so severe that because of the pain of the hunger, of famine rather, earliest record of famine. So because of the pain of the hunger, as a result of that famine, people were jumping inside they call it Tiber, it's a river in Rome. They were jumping inside the Tiber river to die. They would rather die than to continue to live with that level of hunger. And that famine was created, as it were, as a result of the emperor at that particular time withholding grain from the people. So the people were plunged into that level of hunger. Why? Because the emperor that ruled them over and over again were holding back grain from them as a result of control, as a way of control over the people. They want to establish control over the people, and in order to control them, they were holding back grain from them, plunging the people into hunger. And the people could not endure that level of hunger. They were jumping inside the river to die. That is the effect of bad leadership sometimes. Bad leadership, they know how to weaponize hunger. They will weaponize hunger to their own advantage. I don't know if you have heard of Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin, he was one of the leaders in Soviet Union. Soviet Union, that's what was former Russia, right? Yes, Joseph Stalin, a dictator, a brutal one indeed, with a mind of his own. I read an account of how he walked into a meeting, a political meeting, to address some of his political leaders. And then he walked into that meeting with a live chicken in his hand. And then as he walked around the hall with the chicken in his hand, he started plucking the feather of the chicken, one after the other, plucking the feather. And then the chicken was wriggling in pain, but he kept plucking the feather with the blood coming out from the pores. And he continued to pluck the feather without remorse till the chicken was naked. And then dropped the chicken on the floor. And then after that, put his hand in his pocket and brought out some chicken feet. Maybe it was corn or whatever. And then drop it on the floor for the chicken. And then the chicken quickly ran to the thing, pick it up. And then as the man was walking back to his seat, he kept on dropping whether it was corn, the chicken feet. And then the chicken kept on following him. He sat on his chair and then kept dropping the feet on the floor. And then the chicken sat down by his feet and was picking it up. And then he turned to the people, his political leaders, and he told them, he said, you see the people? They are like this chicken. What you need to do is brutalize them, disempower them, and then leave them alone. And then afterwards, give them peanuts, and they will keep on following you. They will follow you and worship you. Some of them will consider you as hero, not knowing that you were the one that even brought them to their sorrow. Now, is that not what we are seeing today? The people that we are fighting for, the people that some of us now that were once upon a time good friends, we have become enemies, fighting for the same people that brought us into our predicament. Go to social media. Fighting them, the people we are fighting for, they are giving us peanuts and you think they are doing great things. Are we supposed to be in this state in the first place? That's the truth. We're not supposed to. They plunder us and they are giving us peanuts and we are thinking they are doing something great. They are the one that brought us here. That is the effect of bad leadership. By and large, what I'm trying to establish, ladies and gentlemen, this morning is that hunger is unpleasant. It's unpleasant. If you think hunger is pleasant, go and ask Esau. Esau came home one day. The scripture tells us in Genesis 25:29, he came home one day, and the Bible tells us that this man was hungry. And it was at the state of hunger that he sold his birthright, a decision that he lived later to regret. Hunger. See what happened in Samaria when there was great famine and there was no food, and people resulted into eating their own children. Remember that story? 2 women, they did a timetable on how they will eat their children because they were hungry. I'm telling you that hunger is not pleasant. Hunger is not pleasant. Ask your neighbor one more time, are you hungry? Now, however, if you know that hunger is not pleasant, the truth is that is just half of the narrative. So, from one of the most prominent sermon that Jesus gave, he introduced us to another dimension of hunger, and to this dimension, Jesus even attached a blessing. And in Matthew chapter 5 verse 6, Jesus declared, saying, what did he say there? Blessed are those that do what now? Excuse me. Blessed are those that are hungry, that hunger. How do you attach a blessing to hunger? Blessing to hunger? From the mouth of Jesus? The same hunger that we just established that is unpleasant. The same hunger that had caused women to eat their children. The same hunger that made a man to sell his birthright. The same hunger. Jesus is now saying that those that are hungry, they are blessed. In fact, if you read the word translated blessing is Makario, and in Amplifier, he established that when a man is blessed, he's actually enjoying or seeing the goodness of God. Or when a man is hungry, look at what he says. He said, blessed. All right, no, give me this. No, this is Amplify Classic. No, give me this in another Amplify. The other one that is not classic. I don't want classic. If you read the Amplify that is not classic, it gives us an understanding that when a man is blessed, this blessing here, this one says blessed and fortunate and happy and all that. But that other classic established that when somebody is blessed, look at what it says. The blessed is defined. What is blessed here now? Joyful. What again now? Nourished by God's goodness are those who do what now? The same hunger that we are saying is unpleasant. Jesus is saying that you are nourished by God's goodness. When you hunger. Why would Jesus say this? Because Jesus found out that hunger has come to be one of the major access into a life of fulfillment in life. That if a person is going to be fulfilled in life, your access to fulfillment in life is going to be through hunger. That's why he says that when a man is hungry, that man is blessed, because that hunger gives you access to fulfillment in life. Blessed are those that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Some translations say fulfilled, satisfied. So your access to satisfaction, your access to fulfillment is via your hunger. That's why I say, if you are hungry, then you are blessed. Because only through that can you access satisfaction in life. It's mind-blowing to see what people have been able to do as a result of intense and strong hunger. Mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Things that men has been able to achieve as a result of a deep-seated hunger in their soul is mind-blowing. There is a fish called piranha, endowed with a razor-like teeth and a strong jaw. They always exist in group, move together in group. Very timid set of fish like this. With a wave of hand, you can scatter them. But you see, when these fish become hungry, what they will do will blow your mind. In a matter of minutes, they can strip a huge animal down to a skeleton. This so-called timid fish, in a minute, when they invade a whole big animal, they will strip it to a skeleton when they get hungry. But when they are not hungry, they can be very timid. What people can do when they are hungry is mind-blowing. Sky, that's the name of the car. Skisko or Sky. It sounds funny. Russia was a Russian plane designer. In his biography, he gave the story of his life experience of how, when he was a child, his father took him to Paris. And there they went to the airport. And at the airport, for the first time, he saw an aeroplane. And right there was this intense desire inside him to design one. And then by the time he got to 17 years old, he started the project. He collected the money from his father. The father gave him everything that he had for him to go and design an aeroplane. And then after 2 years of designing the aeroplane never got off the ground. And then his sister also believed in him. And then she also now gathered everything that she had and gave it to him. And then they continued to work. And a few years after that, 2 years after that, he was able to get his plane off the ground. But however, he eventually plunged it inside a nearby lake. In fact, he escaped, just by the whiskers. But then his family also believed in him. So they mortgaged everything that they had and raised money to give to him, because this man had this strong desire inside him to build a plane. And ladies and gentlemen, the family gave him everything that they had, and he went to work. And eventually, he succeeded. And he kept on designing planes till he eventually designed what is known as the China Clipper, flying all over the world. Now, you might say that family support made him successful, but outside that family support, there was an intense hunger inside him to do something. You can have all the support and squander it if you don't have a desire inside your heart. What people can do with intense hunger. So we have talked about one side of hunger and another side. So hunger can either be a blessing or a burden. So the difference between a hunger that is a blessing and a burden is the object of craving. Don't forget that. The object of craving is what will determine whether your hunger will be a blessing or it will be a burden. What you are hungry for, the object of craving. The difference between a hunger that is a blessing and the one that is a burden is the object of craving. If you go through life and the only thing you are craving for is praise, that hunger will become a burden to you, because there are people like that. The only thing they want in life is for people to be singing their praises. They want the praise of men. That is what they are craving for. That's what they are hungry for. Let them be singing my praise. Some are not even satisfied with praise anymore. They want worship. We do in church praise worship. So they are not okay with praise now. It's worship that they want. If that's what you are looking for in life, if that is your intense desire, ladies and gentlemen, that desire is the one that is unpleasant. It will bring you burden. If all you are looking for is pleasure, if all your craving is pleasure, if all your craving is power, if all your craving is possession, then that kind of craving will bring you nothing but a burden. But the hunger, all right, and the desire that gives you a blessing, they are. I remember this when we talk about hunger. We're not just talking about hungry for food. We're talking about desire. I'm sure you remember that. Hunger talks about intense desire. And we have established in our first session that when you go to the market of life, your desire is your purchasing power. Everything you need is available in the market of life. But you see, what you go home with eventually is determined by the intensity of your desire. Your desire is your purchasing power. So even if you have every other thing going on well for you, if you don't have an intense desire in life, you go to the market of life and come back home empty-handed. What we buy from the market of life, all right, is determined by the intensity of our desire. Because our desire is our purchasing power. That's why the word of Abraham Lincoln comes to mind again. That a man's resolution to succeed is more important than any other thing. So even if you don't have any other thing going on well for you, you don't have a good family background, you don't have enough education, you are not yet short-changing life. All right? What is more important than education or family background is your intensity to succeed. Your desire to succeed is more important. Because if you look at life, you will see people who are not that well educated and yet they are high flyer in our society. 3 or 4 now. Where we see people who were born, as it were, on the wrong side of life. Born, given back to by prostitute. A man like Jephthah comes to mind. He said he was given back to by prostitute. Looking at him, looking at the mother that gave back to him. Someone like Jephthah should have no future. But Jephthah said, I took my life in my hand. So it's not family background. You can have it well and squander it. It's not education. You can have that and squander it. I will repeat this again. The privileges of life are not designed to take you to your destination. They are only meant to give you a head start in life. And if with that privilege you don't have a strong desire, you will squander the privilege. I've seen people with fantastic opportunity wasting it by the day. So in the market of life, what we use to purchase things in the market of life is desire. The stronger your desire, the more you can buy in this market. So the desire that gives you a burden and the one that gives you a blessing is a function of the object of craving. So we've tried to establish some desires that are not something that are not worth desiring, and of course we have tried to establish something that are worth desiring. We talk about righteousness. Is that okay? Blessed are those, Matthew 5:6. Blessed are those that hunger and thirst after what? Righteousness. So if there's anything that you can hungry for, you can desire, that will give you a blessing at the end of the day, it is called righteousness. And we established that righteousness is in 2 dimensions. Righteousness involves a being and a doing. When you receive Christ as your Lord and Savior, the being aspect of righteousness is satisfied. It's established. At that point in time, you become the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. So you have become the being. Being righteous is already established when you receive Christ as Lord and Savior. But righteousness is not just about being righteous, it's also about doing righteous. And that is where the problem lies. That many that have become righteous are not doing righteously. So in church we see people who genuinely they have received Christ as their Lord and Savior. They have become righteous, but the problem is that they are still struggling doing righteous. I'm not feeling what I'm talking about now. He's born again, but however, the doing, his activity, his mannerism, his way of life does not represent that which he said he has become. He has become righteous, but he's not able to do righteous. And righteousness is about being and doing. I'm not just a Christian, I act as a Christian, talk like a Christian, run my business like a Christian. It's so bad that to even do business with so-called Christian can be a big challenge. And the reason is because they have become a Christian, but they are not doing the work of a Christian. Do you get what I'm saying here this morning? That it's not just about what you have become, it's also about what you are doing. Righteousness is both a being and a doing. So one of the things that you must pursue, you must be hungry for, is righteousness. All right? You have become a Christian. Now, let's do as a Christian. Let's do. Let our deed testify that truly we are who we say we are. So that's one of the things that should be your craving. Your hunger should be channeled towards righteousness. Then the second thing that we also established that you need to be craving for, you need to be hungering for, is productivity. Be hungry for productivity. That in this my life, I will be productive. Can somebody declare and say, this my life will be productive? Come on, say that like you mean it. So you need to be hungry for productivity. Don't be satisfied with activity. Go for results. Are you hearing me? You can be filled and full of activity but have no result to show for it. Let your hunger be towards productivity, a life of fruitfulness. Jesus declared, Matthew 15:16, that I have called you that you might bear fruit. That's why I call you. Go for productivity. Go for result. To be productive in your career, to be productive in your marriage, to be productive in your education, to be productive in every aspect of your life. Don't be satisfied with activity. Go for result. Go for result. Say, my life will have a meaning. Go for result. Go for result. Don't wait for people to bring the fruit and then you sit down and be eating it. Produce fruit by yourself. Produce your own fruit. Have your own results. Go for it. And let me tell you, don't use your faith and your Christianity as an escape out of life. And what do I mean by this? You see, sometimes some Christians will just say, well, I believe God is going to do it. I'm trusting that God is going to do it. All right? I have faith that God is going to do it. You're right. But if that is all you say and you do nothing after saying that, then you are using your faith as an escape out of life. Do you know God is going to do it after you have done what you are supposed to do? You can't say God is going to do it and fold your hand and you think because you say God is going to do it, God is going to do it. No, sir. More often than not, when we say we are waiting on God, God is actually the one waiting on us. So don't use your faith and your Christianity as an escape. We have coined a lot of word to escape out of responsibility. I'm trusting God. You are right to trust God. You are right to believe God. But however, what are you doing? Please understand that in life, success will not be dropped on your laps. It will only be placed within your reach. And those are two different things. Success in life does not drop on people's lap. It's only placed within your reach. If you want it, you have to stretch and bring it. Are you hearing me? God will not drop success on your lap. He will only place it within your reach. So if you truly want it, you have to stretch to bring it in. All right? During the flood, when the dove came to Noah, do you realize that the dove did not enter into the ark? The dove only perched by the window. Noah had to stretch his hand towards the window to bring it into the ark. Success will not come into your life. Ladies and gentlemen, success will only perch within your reach. If you truly need it, you will have to stretch. Someone say stretch. That's what many of us are not willing to do. Success is within your reach, but your inability to stretch is the reason why you are not achieving it yet. If truly you want to succeed, then you must be willing to stretch. Success answer to those men and women who are willing to stretch against all odds. It's within your reach. If you are thinking that you will wake up one day and suddenly you will find yourself successful, then you are dreaming. You are dreaming. You need to wake up out of your slumber. Success will not be dropped on your laps. It will only be placed within your reach. If you truly want it, you will need to stretch. Let me ask you this morning, how many of you really want to be successful? Can I see your hand? Now the next question I want to ask you is, how bad? How bad? Because that is where the difference is. How bad? If I ask, how many do you want to be great? Everybody's hands go. But the question is, how bad do you want to be great? What is the intensity of your desire for success? That's where the difference lies. 3 men got up one night, both of them desiring to drink a bottle of Coke. And then the first man got up, went to his kitchen, opened the fridge. It was empty. Then he looked through the window. It was snowing outside. So he went back to his bed, grabbed a cup of water, drank, then went under the duvet and slept off. The other one too, desiring a bottle of Coke, went to his fridge, opened it, the fridge was empty. Then looked through the window. It was snowing outside there. And then he went straight back to his closet, put on his gloves, and then wear his cap, and hit the street, walked straight to a nearby store. When he got there, the store was closed for the day. He came back to his home, to his room, grabbed a pack of juice, took some, went under duvet, and slept. And then the third one, wanting a bottle of Coke, walked to his fridge, opened it. The fridge was empty. Then he looked through the window. It was snowing outside there. So he went to his closet, put on his gloves, put on his hat, and then head towards the store in the street. When he got there, the store was closed for the day. Then from there, he moved to another store. That store was also closed for the day. Then from there, he moved to another store. And then he kept moving from store to store till he eventually found the one that was open, and he was able to grab his bottle of Coke. The difference between them is the intensity of their desire. In your quest for success, sooner or later, you will have to answer this question: how bad? How bad? How bad do you really want it? So I want to be successful. The question is, how bad? How bad? How bad? If people can go that far for a bottle of Coke, how far are you willing to go for the sake of your dream? How far? What do you say you want? You have been saying you want, but how bad do you really want it? What are you willing to do? How bad? So, pursue righteousness, be hungry for righteousness, and what again? Be hungry for productivity. I'll leave you on this note. There's another third thing that you must be hungry for, and that's what we have. Proverbs chapter 2 verse 4. And look at what the Bible tells us. Look for wisdom. Like what? Search for it like hidden treasure. One of the things that you will need to be hungry for in order for your life to have a meaning is to be hungry for wisdom. Hungry for wisdom. Any one of us that wants to actually live a meaningful life must know what it means to be hungry for wisdom. Be hungry for wisdom. Most of the problem in our world today, they are wisdom problem. Be hungry for wisdom. Many years ago, a young boy, I read the story of Socrates, how a young boy walked up to him and said, "Oh Socrates, please, I desire wisdom." And then Socrates grabbed the boy's hand and they walked out of the house and they walked to the sea. And then they started walking into the sea. And then when they got to a particular spot, Socrates, being a huge and a hefty man, overpowered the young boy and pressed him under the water. And the boy was there, struggling. After about a minute, he lifted the boy up again and asked him, "What did you say you want?" And the boy said, "Wisdom." Then he pushed him down under the water again. And the boy kept on struggling. This time around, he let him stay there for 2 minutes. Then pull him up again. Then, "What did you say you want?" He said, "Wisdom, sir." Push him under the water again. And then the boy kept on struggling. And then after a while, he raised him up and said, "What do you want now?" I said, "I need to breathe. He said, "Yes." And now to say, when your desire for wisdom is as strong as your desire for air, you will have wisdom. You have wisdom. If there's anything you must be hungry for, it will be wisdom. Wisdom is that which will give you the life that you love. Please understand, you don't have the life you love simply because you love life. You have the life you love because you love wisdom. Wisdom is that which has the capacity to hand over to you that life that you say you love. There's a kind of life that you say you love. There's a kind of life that you say you want to live. Alright? There's a kind of career that you say you want to have. There's a kind of relationship you say you want to have. Wisdom is that which has the capacity to give to you that kind of life that you say you love. Do you know that in every profession there are skills that makes for success in each profession? If you are going to succeed in a profession, then there are certain skills that you must have in order to succeed in that profession. Say for instance, a common one in music, in sing. If you want to succeed as a singer, do you understand that there are skills that you must acquire in order to succeed as a singer? Is it true? If you say you want to succeed as a singer, at least, if no other thing, you must be able to know how to sing to beat. Isn't it? Yes. If a singer does not know how to sing to beat, what is the chance of the person successful? What is the success sound of the person that does not know how to sing to beat? That's a sound like Pastor Chris does not have a chance. Hallelujah. The person cannot sing to beat. He cannot sing to key. And you want to be a successful singer? No. It's not only in music. Any profession that you pick, there are skills you must acquire for you to be successful in that field. True or false? If you pick medicine as a profession, you cannot be a successful medicine just because you can use knife to cut somebody. Anybody can use knife to cut anybody. When you are an area boy, why are you not cutting people with knife? So it's not about you. There are skills that you must have in order for you to succeed. Pick any profession. There are skills that makes for success in any profession that you pick. If life is a profession, then the skill that makes for success in life is wisdom. Wisdom is life skill for success. If you must be successful in life, then wisdom become a necessity, because it's one skill that you must have in order for you to be successful. Read scriptures and see what wisdom can do. Proverbs chapter 8 verse 1. Does wisdom not cry? Go to Proverbs 8:1. Wisdom is crying. What is wisdom saying? Go to verse 15. See what wisdom is saying. Verse 15, give me that verse 15. He said, by me, this wisdom speaking, by me, kings reign, princes decree justice. 16. By me, princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early, they shall find me. Verse 18. Riches and honor, they are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. Go to the next verse. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. This is what wisdom is saying. I am telling you that wisdom is what we give to you, that life that you say you love. One of the things that wisdom will do for you, ladies and gentlemen, is that wisdom, when it comes into your life, it will help you to make better decisions with fewer regrets. With wisdom, you are empowered to be able to make better decisions with fewer regrets. Please understand that the point of decision is the point of destiny, and it is at that point that many people miss it. The point of decision. When you look back into your life and you consider many of the things that you regret today, you will find out that it was as a result of a wrong decision that you made in time past. Many of our regrets today, they are tied to one decision that we made in the past. The point of decision is the point of destiny. Whether a destiny can be made or marred is going to be by the decision that you are making in life. And wisdom empowers you to make better decisions with fewer regrets. Decision about where to live. They are very crucial decisions. They may look as simple, but they are very crucial. If you don't understand the importance of where to live, go and ask Lot. Lot chose to live in Sodom and Gomorrah simply because of the glamour that was visible, not knowing that it was a death trap. Are you hearing me? Where to live, what to do for living. Those are decisions you have to make. Who will be the father and the mother of your children? Those are crucial decisions. And those are decisions that can either make your destiny or mar your destiny. But wisdom helps you to make better decisions with fewer regrets. That's what it does. If you are wiser than what you were then, the truth is that you probably wouldn't have chosen what you chose then. Am I making any point here? That's the truth. That's the truth. Some of the deals that many of you enter into that brought you down to nothing, you probably wouldn't have done that. Some of the decisions that you took, all right, that wreck your life, you probably wouldn't have, if you had been wiser. I'm telling you, the point of decision is the point of destiny. And if you get it wrong, you can destroy destiny. No matter what the man has spent his entire life building, one wrong decision is enough to bring everything down. But wisdom helps you to make better decisions with fewer regrets. I pray for you. You will not end your journey with regrets in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. End the journey. Wisdom helps you to make better decisions. That this one that is dancing around me, wisdom tells you no. Yeah. Wisdom tells you that. One of the things that wisdom also tells you is that the best way to deal with your enemy is not to do to them what they did to you, is to succeed in spite of what they might have done to you. That's the best way. See, let me tell you something. Your success is your greatest revenge. If there's anything your enemy cannot stand, it's your success. Don't do to them what they did to you. Succeed in spite of what they matter. Just trust God to make you successful. Your success is your greatest revenge. Are you hearing me? Oh yes. When you succeed like this, hey, that's one thing your enemy cannot survive. You see, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth is a law that is too primitive for you to obey. Don't condescend to get even with anybody. No, sir. Don't deal with your enemy the way he has dealt with you. Succeed in spite of how he has dealt with you. Your success is your greatest revenge. You are too big to get even. Too big. Just trust God to empower you and to put his blessing upon you or your life, so that regardless of what they might have done, you succeed. That's the best revenge. That's the best revenge. So Solomon went ahead and show us. I know I won't finish this teaching today, but just follow me. Yeah. Solomon went ahead and showed us, if you truly desire wisdom, it shows us where we can also go to go learn wisdom. And in Proverbs 30, from verse 24 downwards, if you give me that 24 in voice, look at what he says. He said, you can go to this creature to go learn wisdom from them. Hear what he says. He said, there are 4 creatures on earth, though they are small. Are you hearing me? They are small, but what? They are very wise, and we can do what now? Learn from them. 4 creatures. If you truly desire wisdom, then Solomon is directing you. Just like that young man went to Socrates. Solomon is saying, if you truly desire wisdom, I know where you can get it. Of course, God is ultimate. But aside from God, there's somewhere I want to direct you to go get wisdom. And he said, these 4 creatures, they teach you wisdom. Now, like I said, we won't have time to explore all that each of these creatures, all right, has to tell us about wisdom. But in this service, this morning as I close, I want to tell you one thing that they collectively teach us about wisdom. There's one lesson concerning wisdom that we learn from them. I'll say this quickly and then I'll close. Now, if you look at this creature very well, you will find out that there is no single one among them that does not have a limitation. There is no single one among them that does not have a disadvantage. There is no single one among them that does not have a shortcoming or a weakness, as it were. Let me read that to you in the Living Bible. Look at what it says in Living Bible. It said, there are 4 things that are small but unusually wise. Look at that. Go further, please. It said, ants. Look at what it said. Ants, the first thing you know about ants is that what now? They're strong. That's a limitation. That's a disadvantage. They are not strong. Go to the next verse. It said cliff badgers. Cliff badger. That's this cliff badger. Do you know the animal called cliff badger? Now, give me this in the DRB translation. Verse 26 in DRB translation. So you can understand it's a breed or a rabbit, like a rabbit. It's a species. It's a species. It's a form of a rabbit. Give me that. Do you have a DRB? Okay, go with that. No, not this one. This one is rock badgers. Some other translation established that they are actually rabbits. Go look for it. With some translation that establish them as rabbit. Now, but all right, so just go back to that TLB. Let's continue. Verse 26. So TLB says, delicate little animal. So the weakness of this one is that what now? They are delicate. They are little. The next one, the locust. What's their weakness? They don't have leaders. The next one. What's the next one? Lizard. What do you have here? What's the weakness here? Easy to catch and to do what now? And kill. Each one of them, they have what you can consider as a disadvantage. They have what you can consider as a weakness. But in spite of that, they have been able to gain recognition over the years. At least Solomon recognized them. Not only recognized them, he also recommended them. Is that not true now? Yes. Moreover, you will agree with me that if you look at all these animals, you will find out that none of them is an endangered species. That is to say, over the years, they have been able to succeed and survive century upon century. Even stronger animals than them have gone into extinction. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but this one, as weak. Now, okay, this is another translation they're talking about now. It said the rabbits. So the rabbits are weak people. Say they are weak. All right. So each of these elements, they are not an endangered species. They have survived over the years. I mean, if you watch TV very well, there is an advocacy against bushmeats going on. Is that true? Yeah, they say we want to keep the roar alive. They don't be like eating bushmeat. They say don't eat all the lion finish. They remain small. All right? Because all these animals, as strong as they have, many of them, they are going into extinction. But this one, as weak, with all the disadvantages, they have survived and they are not an endangered species. Are you following me? They have recognition and they are also recommended. All right? For us as human beings to go and learn from them. The question is, how, despite all this weakness, if there's one lesson that this animal, they are teaching us, is simple. Leverage your strength. That's the lesson. If there's one lesson you learn from them, leverage your strength. This animal, they have limitations. They have disadvantages. They have weaknesses. They have shortcomings. But they wouldn't sit down and begin to weep over that which they do not have. All they did was to just capitalize and take advantage of that which they have. And they are gaining recognition by the day. They are surviving from years to year. Let me tell you something. Our challenge is not our weaknesses. Our challenge is our attitude to our strengths. That's our challenge. Our problem in life is not about what we do not have. Our problem lies solely with how we are managing that which we already have. And so if you must succeed in life, you need to know what it means to leverage your strength. Leverage your strength. There is a strength that you have. If you want to look at the things that you don't have, you will see plenty. But the question is this, the truth is this, in the midst of all that which you do not have, there still lies something that you do have. And your success is not determined by what you don't have, it's grossly determined by what you have. So if you must succeed, quit worrying over that which you don't have. Start leveraging your strengths. See, there's none of us seated here this morning that can say that he does not have something. Just as you can point to what you don't have, the truth is that right inside you lies some things. God has invested so much in your life. You have something. And your attitude towards your strength is what matters, not your weakness. Not your weakness. Are there things you don't have? Yes. But let me tell you something. God has given you enough for what he has promised you. He has promised you a great life. He has promised you a fantastic life. And everything that you need to access that life, he has already given it to you. At the end of the day, it boils down to the words of the prophet to that woman. What do you have in your house? The ants, they not pray to be as strong as a lion. Even in their weakness, they recognize that they have some strength. They just make use of their strength. And then they keep on surviving. So it's not about what you don't have. I don't have a good education. Oh yes. I don't have good family background. Oh yes. Those are the things you don't have. But can you pause a little bit and start Channeling your energy to discover something that you have, because your success is not tied to that which you don't have. Your success has a lot to do with what you have. So the problem is not what you don't have, it's your attitude towards what you have. If you keep on ignoring what you have like this, life will not make a meaning to you. So fire, what do I have? When David stood before Goliath, David did not need anything new. Even that which was brought for him was abnormal. Where the armor of Saul, he didn't need that. What David needed against Goliath, he had been carrying it all his lifetime. The sling has always been with him as a shepherd boy, just waiting for Goliath to show up. Do you know, Gideon, he was living an ordinary life and running from what every other person was running from. Yet, with Gideon lies all the capacity and the ability to deliver his people from slavery. So when the angel came, the first thing the angel said was, Gideon, you are hiding? Mighty man of valor. He didn't know. So at the end of the day, the instruction was, Gideon, go in this your might. You don't need an addition. You already have it. It's your strength. There may be other things that you don't have, but this might that you have is all you need. I am telling you, you don't have something, you are correct. But what you need to succeed is not what you don't have. What you already have is what you need. You have something. Leverage your strength. Do something. Stop ignoring your strength. That's what you need to plot your way to the top. That's what you need. I told this story many years ago. 1973. Bruce Lee died. How many of you remember Bruce Lee? Yeah. That guy died. 1973, July 20 precisely. Bruce Lee died. And a replacement was needed for Bruce Lee. And then they start shopping for a replacement. And then they approach Jackie Chan for replacement. Now, the issue with Jackie Chan was that with Jackie Chan, he had this humor. And Bruce Lee was not humorous. See the way he was killing his enemy. Those of you that watched, you know that Bruce Lee was not humorous at all. He was killing them like, that's how he was killing them. But Jackie Chan was very humorous. What he needed to do to be a Bruce Lee was to drop that humor. But that humor was his strength. That humor was his strength. That was why he did not qualify to fill in the space as Bruce Lee. I would rather be a Jackie Chan with my strength and be something else and become a Bruce Lee. And with that his strength, it was like life will not pay off. But it's a lie. It can only look like that for a while. When you play from your strength, you can't play amiss. 1978, his break came when he acted the snake in the eagle shadow. Not in the monkey, it's the monkey, you know. In the eagle shadow. As of 2015, the net worth of Jackie Chan was $350 million. 2016, it was the second highest paid actor in the whole wide world. As of today, 2023, his net worth is over $400 million. With the same, till today, the humor is still there. That's your strength. Forget about what you don't have. There's something you have. And the whole world is waiting, because it is by what you have that you will make impact in your world. Start leveraging on your strength. You know, over there, this is our last trip. We had an opportunity to discuss with a lady, a pastor's wife. She was preaching and then she was praying and all those stuff like that. But however, we also know that this lady was a singer, or is a singer. Beautiful singer. But you see, probably because of a change in role, she now is the pastor's wife. She's no longer singing again. And we told her, listen, use your strength to bring some coloration to what you are doing. Whether it is preaching or praying, you have a strength in singing. Bring it to bear over what you are doing. That's how you see. Let me tell you something. Do you know that Paul was a bad speaker. Paul, he was a bad speaker. I'm telling you, Paul was a bad speaker. When Paul showed up to speak, people say, what is this babbler going to say? Give me that 2 Corinthians 10:10. Look at what the Bible tells us concerning Paul. Look at what it says. 2 Corinthians 10:10. That's Paul. Give me that 2 Corinthians 10:10, please. He said, for his letter, they say, what is it? They are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak, and his speech, what is his speech? Contemptible. If you give me another translation, he breaks it down. One translation says this Paul that we are talking about is the worst speaker. Give me that. Give me another translation, please. I need to read that. Give me that. All right, ERV, right? Give me that ERV. ERV now. Who is there? Hi. Oh, Nepal is taking their light. All right. Hear me. Paul was a bad speaker. But do you know something? Even though he was a bad speaker, but Paul was a fantastic writer. And do you know today, who cares whether Paul didn't know how to speak? Who cares? The impact that Paul has made in the world has not been by his speech, it has been by his letter. Paul realized that, listen, my strength is in writing, and that's why one man wrote more than half of the New Testament. He just simply concentrated. See, there's a way you can be so good with your strength that your weakness will no longer matter. Leverage on your strength. What is it that you have? What is it that you have? Look, for a man to be successful, please make note of this. Number one, that man must know how to overcome problems. Number two, that man must know how to solve problems. That man must know how to leverage, as in support other people, complement other people. And that man must also know how to balance out his strength. All these elements are essential for a man to be successful, and these are the things that your strength offers you. It helps you to know how to overcome challenges. It helps you to know how to solve problems. It helps you to know how to pursue opportunity. It helps you to know how to complement people and to balance out your strength. Are you following me? So the question therefore is this: what's my strength? How do I know my strength? Because your strength is not something that is coming, it's something that is already there. It will shock you that there's something you have that you are ignoring that can rewrite your story. It will shock you. It can rewrite your story. It can put you on a better pedestal. You already have it, but you are just ignoring it. You don't even know it's there, but it's there. It's there. How do I know my strength? Number one, discover your strength. Discover it. When we talk about your strength, we are talking about something that you are good at. That's number one. Something that you are good at. Number two, something that you love to do. You know, because you can be good at something and you don't love doing it. We're talking about your strength is something that you are good at. Your strength is something that you love to do. Your strength is something that aligns with your values. Those are the things that your strength talks about. And when you study very well, you will see your strength runs across about 4 or 5 pillars or compartments. Number one, it can be spiritual. Spiritual gift. From spiritual gift, you can find out your strength. If you are looking for your strength, check your spiritual gifts. Are you following me? If you are looking for your strength, check your natural ability or talent. If you are looking for your strength, check for your skills. Either soft skill or hard skill. Are you following me? If you are looking for your strength, check your experiences. There are certain things that you are able to do by virtue of what God has allowed you to experience in life. So from there, you can establish what your strengths are. That's the first thing. Discover your strength. The second thing is to develop that strength. After you have discovered your strength, then start making investments towards the development of your strength. In other words, when you discover your strength, strengthen your strength. Get better at your best. Are you following me? Don't shortchange yourself by ignoring your strength and trying to fix your weaknesses. That's important. Don't do yourself a disservice spending your time to fix your weaknesses, ignoring your strength. Somebody says, I am strong there, I don't have to be bothered about that, let me just focus my weakness. No, sir. The only thing you can do with your weakness is to build a support system around your weaknesses through delegation. Surround yourself with people who are strong in the area where you are not strong. Build a support system around your weaknesses. But your investment towards growth must be towards your strength. Stop trying to be strong where you are weak. Avoid the temptation of trying to do that which you don't have the capacity to do. Let me show you a scripture. Philippians 4:13. We have been deceived. Many of us will come over and say, I can do all things through Christ. But let me tell you something. You don't stop that. I can do all things through Christ that does what now? That's the complete verse. You can't do all things. That's true. You can't do all things. With all you say, I can do all things, I can do all things. Can you fly? You can't do all things. You can't. So some say I can do all things. The verse didn't say you can do all things. The verse simply says I can do all things through Christ. Give me that in HRV. You understand better. Here's what it says in HRV. He said Christ is the one who gives me the strength I need to what? To do whatever I must do. So there are certain things that you don't have to do. But if it is something I must do, Christ has given me the strength to do it. So you are only able to do the things that Christ has strengthened you to. If you don't have the strength to do it, you cannot do it. So forget it. Stop frustrating yourself doing that which you have not been strengthened to do. So once you discover your strength, develop your strength. Ecclesiastes 10:10 tells us that if the axe is blunt and you don't sharpen it, then the struggle continue. No, you will need to struggle to achieve anything with it. You have discovered your strength, then sharpen it. Strengthen your strength. If this is your strength, invest in the area of yourself. Don't waste your time trying to get better at your weaknesses. No, sir. Build a support system around your weaknesses for those who can manage it. But for you, concentrate on your strength. Remember, you can be so good with your strength that your weaknesses will no longer be visible. So discover your strength. Delegate your strength. And the third thing, deploy your strength. Constantly look for opportunity to deploy your strength, because the more you use your strength, the better you will become at it. So look for roles that fill your strength, that fits your strength. Play from your strength. Operate only from your strength zone. Quit doing things that are outside your strength zone. And many of us, we are trying to impress people. We know that we don't have the ability for this, yet that's what we are trying to do. No, quit doing things outside your strength zone. Look for roles that actually fit your strength. Look for roles that fit your strength. If this is your strength, look for roles that fit your strength. You don't know how to smile. You want to be a receptionist. You are a failure from day one. Look for strength. Look for roles that fit your strength. I am telling you practicable things in life. Look for a role that fits your strength. There are certain things that many of us should not even dabble at because you don't have the strength in that area. I'm telling you. Look for a role that it's not because you need the money. You need money. If you make money from me, you will not be fulfilled because that's not your strength. Look for a role that fits your strength. For a role. You want to do hospitable business and yet you are not accommodating. Look for a role. That's a misfit. That's a round peg in a square hole. Look for a role that fits your strength. There are certain things, even if they offer you, you should decline because you know that's not your strength. Don't frustrate yourself. Don't frustrate yourself. Deploy your strength. Look for opportunity where you can actually display. Do you know that when the eagle fights with the snake, they don't fight on the ground? When an eagle fights with the snake, the eagle picks the snake up. That is his strength zone. Look, if you play within your strength zone, you cannot play amiss. That strength zone, that is your place of advantage. Jack Welch, he made a powerful statement. He said, if you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. If you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. And in your strength zone, that's where you have the greatest advantage. If you must compete, it's your strength zone. That's where your advantage is greater. Operate in your strength zone. Stop frustrating yourself. Many of you are doing things and you're not getting the result. You know why? Because you have not been strengthened to do them. That's why you are being frustrated. Look for roles that fit your strength. Look for roles that fit your strengths. Friends, God has made so much investment in your life. And to his investment, he expects a return. It boils down to it at the end of the day, as we walk out of this place. What God is saying to us, as we go out of this place this morning, go in this thy might. Stop getting engaged in that which you have not been strengthened. Find out your strength and go do it. Remember the story, Colonel Sander. Life was miserable for him till he began to tap into his strength. The strength has been there, the ability to cook for many years. It was when he was 60 years old. That was when he realized that. And as soon as he began to tap, today the rest is history. KFC is standing today, an evidence of a man who tapped into his strength, even though late at the age of 60. But the result is there. But you have an opportunity today. Stop doing the things that you have not been straining to do. Leverage your strength. You can be so good with your strength that your weakness will become inconsequential. I commend you to God and to the word of his grace. It is able to build you.